Good morning. Today we're going to make some sourdough bread. Our favorite is a cheddar cheese sourdough bread, and we'll add the cheese at a later stage. But first of all, the most important thing I'm not sure everybody understands is that the starter has to be active. So I started this at 6 o'clock this morning. I fed it, and it's ready to go now. So you used your scale set to grams. Put your bowl on it and tear it out. And we need 200 grams of this. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. It's light and fluffy. What's left in this will be the starter for the future. Okay, so that's 200 grams of that. And then we put in 750 grams of warm water. There's some. This is lukewarm, warm to the touch. 750. Then I put in 10% whole wheat flour. So the total flour is going to be 1,000 grams. So I just pour that. Well, first you stir these together a little bit, and then we put in 100 grams of. I use King Arthur white whole wheat flour. So 100 grams of this. It doesn't. You don't have to be exact on this because you're going to end up. As long as you end up with 1,000 grams in the end, you're okay. Okay. So this is. Bob's Red Mill Artisan bread flour. I like this because it gives the bread a nice crust. So there's a lot of flour goes in here. A little too much, oops. So take a little bit out. Get it exactly 1,000. Perfect. And then you just use your hands and get it all mixed together. I did wash my hands, I promise. Oh, I forgot the salt. Okay, 20 grams of salt. This is going to make 2 loaves. So 20 grams isn't too bad for 2 loaves. Alrighty, back to mixing. This takes a while. So you can be rough at this stage. You can really work it because you want it to get completely blended. You don't want any lumps of flour. You want it to be the same consistency throughout the entire bowl of mush. Okay, so you want to get it completely blended. You can see some of it's like raggedy. It will be wet throughout by the time I'm finished here. Smells so good. Does it? I can feel that part of this is wetter than the other part, so you have to keep doing this until it's consistent. So all the starter is going to have fresh flour to start eating. That's just, oh, there's some more dry stuff. Now it's all completely mixed together, and the next step is to let it sit on the counter with a cloth over it for 30 minutes before we do the next steps. Okay, so it's been 30 minutes and the mixture has been sitting on the counter, and it's time to start doing the pulls. And you do a pull every 30 minutes, 4 pulls every 30 minutes. But Tim and I enjoy cheddar cheese sourdough bread. So this is when you would put in the cheese, and I like to put in an aged white cheddar, nice quality. It makes the bread toast up really beautifully golden. So I'm cutting it into cubes so that the cubes will be chunks of cheese in the loaf. And it makes it really good. It's like a grilled cheese sandwich when you're toasting it. That and a piece of avocado on it, maybe a homegrown tomato, yum, for breakfast. So I put in about 10 ounces of cheese, set that for ounces, for the 2 loaves, or whatever's in the package. This one happens to be 7 ounces, that's fine. So you put that in, and we're gonna do our pulls. You have to have wet hands to do this, excuse me. You don't want too much water on your hands because you don't want to add any moisture to the mix, but you want to have the dough not stick to your hands. So what you do here is you pull and fold it over. I don't know if you can see it from there. And then you turn it a quarter turn, do it again, pull. That's 2. 3. 4. That's all you do every 30 minutes for the next 2 hours. Whoops, I missed one cheese. Stick that back in there. So we're gonna let it rest for 30 minutes and then we'll do that again. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. I spent the time working on real estate in between turning the bread. So I hope to hear from you guys soon. No, anyway, my hands are wet, so we're gonna do the same turn we did last time. 4 quarter turns. Ooh, the dough has gotten much more elastic now. Starting to see some bubbles. Look at that bubble right there. Isn't that beautiful? That's the yeast work. Well, it's the starter working. There's 2. 3. Look at the texture, is so different than it was a minute ago, 30 minutes ago. And 4. You want to do it strong enough that you get a good pull on it, but you don't want to be too rough that you break the bubbles. That's it. Let it rest for another 30 minutes. So after doing the 4 turns every 30 minutes for 4 times, so that's 2 hours of doing that, you put a cloth on the bowl and let the dough sit for up to 4 hours or until it's about doubled in size. And then at that time you'll shape the dough and put it into the baskets to be refrigerated for 48 hours. So we won't eat this bread for days. But enjoy it, and if you would like starter, I have it daily because I keep making it every morning. Or if you'd like the full recipe, let me know. Thank you. Bon appetit.